Hi everyone, so here is where we're going to talk about how to use our graphing calculators to find the intersection between two functions. Now we actually have already done this when we did in our Unit 2 where we did actually a system of linear, and we're going to kind of go back over how to do that. Okay, so we'll do that of how to find the intersection there. Okay, now here they do have the instructions, so please make sure you reread your notes, or while I'm doing these video notes, make sure to slow down. If you need to pause the video, make sure you do that so you understand what is happening. Okay, so we're going to solve using the graphing calculator. So basically, notice that these two are linear functions. So that means because they're linear, they're going to meet at one point. And we're going to have to figure out what is that point, okay? Now, in order to plug this into our calculator, we must take each of these functions and rewrite it as y equals, okay? So on my first one, I'm going to move my 7x over. So I have negative 12y equals negative 7x minus 22. Now, because we're putting this into the graphing calculator, really it actually doesn't matter if you put your x in front or put your x in back. If you were doing this by hand, I would say make sure you put it in the front so you know it's that mx plus b form. But with the graphing calculator, it can figure that out. Okay, next thing is I need to divide every single term by this negative 12. So I get y equals, so remember two negatives makes a positive, that's 7/12x. And technically you can just leave this as this, you don't need to simplify, but it is good to just practice simplifying these fractions. I will have plus 2 goes into 22 and 12, so I'll have 11/6. Okay, so that's my first one. I'm going to go ahead and do this one as well. So this one, I add 5x to the other side. Once again, you can really put 5x behind the 14. The graphing calculator does a really lot of nice stuff for you that you don't have to worry. Or you can put the 5x in front of the 14 if that helps. Now I'm going to divide everything by 8. So I get y equals 5/8x. And then I'm going to simplify this. So 2 goes into 14 and 8. So that'll give us 14 divided by 2 is 7, and then 7/4. Okay, so now that I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and plug both of these into the graphing calculator. Okay, so remember you're going to have to press y equals. Now, if there's already stuff here, remember you can press clear and it'll get rid of it, okay? Now, if you have the nice calculators, you can do alpha y equals to get a fraction. So for this first one, I'm going to do that. So I have 7/12, so 7, and then I do my down arrow to do the 12, and I right arrow, and then I do my x here, and then I have plus, and I once again do alpha y equals, and then 11/6, okay? Now let's say you don't have those nicer type of, let's say, the graphing calculators, they're a little bit on the older side, you can put parentheses. So I'm going to do the second one just using parentheses. So if I do 5 divided by 8, make sure that's in parentheses, then I can do my x, and plus, and then I'm going to do parentheses 7 divided by 4. So you can also do it like this, where you put your fraction into parentheses. Both of these do work, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Zoom, because just in case my graph is all crazy because I've been working on it, I'm going to get my graph back into the standard window. Remember, that's -10 to +10 on both the x and y axes. So I'm going to press Zoom. I'm going to go to number 6 where it says Z standard. That gets us back to the standard window. And we just want to make sure that we can see where these two intersect, okay? So notice here, I can see these two. I do see where they intersect, so I don't need to change my window. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the blue button second, and then we press trace. And then we go to number 5 where it says intersect. Now on here, remember, all we had to do was press enter 3 times. So you want to press enter once, twice. Now remember, I'm not done. It says guess. I got to do it one more time. Here we go. So you got to see the word intersection, and then it'll give you your x and y. So they intersect at 2, 3. Make sure you write your answer as an order pair as we've been doing, okay? So our answer here is 2/3. Or not 2/3, 2,3, there you go, for intersection. Okay, now let's see how do we do this when it's not just two linear, but a linear and a quadratic. Now, first step is, just like we did in the last one, I need to solve for y, for both of these. So we got to get y equals. So on my first one, what I'm going to move over is my x squared, and I'm going to move my 3 over. So I have negative 7y equals, so now I have negative x squared minus 3. Now, just like we did in the last one, every single term I'm going to divide by negative 7. And then I'm going to have y equals, 2 negatives makes a positive. You can write this as x squared over 7, or we could write this as 1/7 x squared. Both are correct, okay? And then I have this 3 over 7. That cannot be simplified. I just have plus 3/7. That really is not anything different there. Okay, now for this linear, we've done this one before. I'm going to go through it quickly. I'm going to move the 2x over. Now here, there is a negative in front of the y. I need to get rid of that. Remember, with our y, there can be no negative signs. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 1 here. So now I have y equals, 2 negatives makes us a positive, then minus 3. Okay, so these are going to be the two functions. I'm going to plug into my y equals here. So here I go to y equals. Once again, I need to press clear to get rid of it. And then when I do this, I can do 1/7 or I can do x squared over 7. Both are correct. I do alpha y equals. Okay. Now here I got my x, and then I'm going to do a squared, and then I'm going to put my 7. And then once again, I'll do alpha y equals. Okay. Oops, I did not get rid of that. Let me redo that again. I'm sorry, guys. Alpha y equals. Make sure you always, there you go, 7. There you go. You got to go over there. Then alpha y equals. Oh, and I'm going to have to put my plus 3/7 there, but I'll do that momentarily. Oh, why is it doing that? Sorry, guys. There you go. Let me do my plus sign first. Okay, now let's try this a third time. There we go. Now we do our 3/7 here. Now remember, if you don't have these nice calculators that does the fractions, just put parentheses. So you do parentheses x squared divided by 7, then end your parentheses plus another parentheses, 3 divided by 7. Okay, so you can definitely use that. Okay, my second one, I'm going to clear this. This one was nicer. It's just 2x minus 3. Now, my window's already in the standard window, so I don't need to change anything, so we're good to go. So I'm going to automatically press graph here. Okay, now I do see where it intersects once, but it does look like it's going to intersect the next time. So that may mean I actually need to change my window. Now, it looks like I may need to change my x and my y. So my positive x and my positive y. So how we do that is I'm going to go to Windows. I want my x max. I'm going to just change this to 15. I'm going to keep my scale, so XSCL means scale, as ones. And I'm going to change my y max to 15 as well. Remember, this is kind of a guessing game to see what works. If it doesn't work, we keep changing it, okay? I'm going to press graph again and see if I see that intersection. Okay, I see my x is probably pretty good, but my y max, I still need to change it. So let me change that to 20 for the y max and see if that works. I'm going to press graph again. Okay, we're almost there. So I think I'm going to change my window to 25 for the y max, and then I should be good to go. Yes. So now we do the same thing. We're going to press second trace. I need to go to number 5 for intersect. Now, when I do this, because there's 2 different points, I do need to make sure that my cursor is close to one of the points to get that. So I see that my cursor is close to the bottom point. So all I need to do is press enter 3 times here. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so our first intersection is 2, 1. So let's write that as an ordered pair. So that's one of our solutions, but we have another solution. So once again, I need to go press second trace again. I'll go to number 5. Now notice that my cursor is once again at the bottom. To get it to the top, I'm going to have to use my right arrow key to get it close to the second intersection. Remember, guys, when you use your arrow keys, you can't use up and down, only left and right. So I'm going to move it to that second intersection point. Once I move it, then I can just press enter 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. And it looks like my next intersection is 1221. Okay, so that is my answer there. I got two solutions here. Make sure you write them as ordered pairs. If you have any questions, remember that you can come in before after school or during Tiger Time to get help, or you can email me. I'll see you guys later. Bye.